Hi friends, it's Amber, and thank you so much for joining me in my last Christmas in July video for 2024. This is going to be such a quick and easy video. We are making the cutest Christmas shaker cards, and they're so simple to make. Here's one that I already made, and you will not believe how easy this was to make. And so here's the shaker, and here's the card, and then here's the inside. And I also made an envelope to go with it, with my envelope punch board. So I'm going to show you how to make everything here and show you all the materials that you're going to need to make it. So let's just jump right in and get started. So first, for the scrapbook paper, you will need one piece that measures 10 1/8 by 10 1/8. And this is going to make an envelope that fits an A7 card. So then you will also need two pieces that measure 5 1/4 by 6 3/4. And for the main image on the front of the card, I took a 4x6 card, journaling card, and I cut it down to 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. For the cardstock, you will need the card base, and that measures 11 by 7. And then you'll need a piece that measures 4 1/8 by 6. And another one that measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Before we get started, I want to share the paper collection that I'm using. This is called Simple Vintage Dear Santa, and it's by Simple Stories. And there's the prints you get. It's so beautiful. And I love all the vintage Santas. So that's the paper collection I'm using, and I'll link this below. I know it's still available. So the first thing we're going to do is make the envelope. I have tutorials on my channel, so I'm going to do this one kind of fast, but if you don't have an envelope punch board, I really recommend getting one. This is one of my top 5 favorite tools in the craft room, and it is so user-friendly. So I went to the measurements for an A7 envelope, and it's a 10 1/8 by 10 1/8, and then it gives you the first score line, which is 4 1/2. So I'm going to stick my paper in here and go all the way down to 4 1/2. And that's where you punch. You always punch and then score. There's a little groove right here, so just make sure not to press too hard and puncture your paper. So once you have the first punch and score, you just turn it to the left like this, and then you never have to find another measurement because you're just going to take this little lever right here and line it up with the score line we just made. So once you line it up with that score line, you just punch and score. So then you do it again. You just turn it, find that score line to line it up, punch, and score again. And then we have one last turn, line it up with the score line, punch, and score. Then you go to the back of the envelope punch board and you're going to round all of those pointed corners. So once we have our envelope all punched out, you want to decide which side you want on the outside. So I'm just folding out all the score lines we made, and then I'm going to decide which is the outside of my envelope. So let's see. That would be so pretty. I think I like that. Yeah. So what you do is you just fold on all the score lines. So here's the top, and then here's the bottom. You just fold the two side panels in. And you're just going to add adhesive right here and right here. This is so easy. I love making envelopes with my scrapbook paper. So I've got that adhesive, and I do run it a couple times just to make it strong. And then you just flip the bottom up like this, and you have an envelope. Wasn't that so easy? So that's how I did this one as well. And then you have like a nice lined envelope with a decorative side on the inside and on the outside. The actual secret to the easy shaker card is this clear bag from clearbags.com. This is a 4 1/4 by 6 1/8 clear adhesive sleeve. And this idea was inspired by a crafter here on YouTube. She is NurseTara, and I will link her channel below. She has so many amazing ideas. This was so long ago that I remember seeing this, and I absolutely loved how simplified she made it. So I'm just putting my own twist on it, but the inspiration definitely came from NurseTara. The sequins are gonna stay nice and secure in our shaker. You don't have to memorize the number. I'm gonna link this exact bag below along with my coupon code for 10% off. So we're gonna start out with our card base. And all you have to do with this is just fold it in half. I do like a crisp score line, but just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna go quick and just fold it in half. So this is gonna be our A7 card base. So stick that aside now that we have it folded in half. And we are gonna work on our shaker first. So the first thing you need is your piece that measures 4 1/8 by 6. And then you're gonna grab your decorative piece, center that on our matte piece, just like this, and glue it down. So bring over your matte piece, and I'm just gonna center this on here. This is gonna be a Christmas card, and this is like our main focal point. So I wanna put like a little Christmas sentiment on here. So I'm gonna choose this Deck the Halls. I think that's cute. And it's like typewriter font. So I think that's super cute. And I'm gonna add some extra adhesive on here. So I'm just adding some extra adhesive. And I'm just simply gonna place this right here. You can decorate yours however you want, but the key is just to keep it pretty flat. Okay, so now we're gonna take our clear adhesive sleeve. So here's the front where the flap is longer. So I made this measurement 4 1/8 wide, and it's a pretty snug fit, which is what you want. You don't want it to be too snug, but this is like the perfect fit inside this cute little bag. Okay, so now come the sequins. So I just have like a mix here, and I just got it from Amazon. And then I just added a bag of white iridescent to it. So it's like, it's got little shapes in there of like little deer and a bunch of different red, white, and green sprinkles. So what I'm gonna do is just take my clear bag, and here's how we open it, just like this. And this is, I think, a tablespoon. So I'm gonna put like, start with 2 scoops and just stick them in there. Oh yeah, that's plenty for this size card. So then what we're gonna do is close the bag up. The adhesive strip is right there. So try to make this as even as you can so there's not a lot of air in there. And just close that up. So here's what it looks like. Isn't it so pretty? They sparkle in the light. I love how pretty this is. And you can just keep playing around with it to see the different images in there. But I just think this is so fun. So that was like nothing, right? It was so easy. But with these bags, it's easy for these to slip out and kind of get out. So what you're gonna do is turn it over like this, and we're gonna seal it really well with some Scor Tape. I'll have this Scor Tape link below. If you can also use the red line tape, but you've got to use something that's super duper strong and not gonna come up. I ran out of my 1/4 inch, so I'm bringing in my 1/2 inch Scor Tape. I'll link both of these sizes below. So again, I don't recommend using wet glue for this. You want to use a really strong double-sided adhesive like this. Again, that red line tape is really strong. You could use that, but just make sure you put a generous amount on here. I'm going to do 3 strips down the middle also. And now I'm just going to press that down with my bone folder. So then we're just going to take our card base and mat that front cover like this. So I'm just going to center this on my card base. Isn't that paper so pretty? I love this paper collection. Okay, so now that we have our card base already and we have our shaker piece already, just center that on the card. So now that journal card and all those sequins are trapped in there with that strong adhesive, and now just press down the glue. So I'm gonna press it down here because there's hardly any sequins up here. And then I'll just shake this like that, and then press down the bottom and the sides. There's our cute shaker card. Isn't it so adorable? You can kind of move it around to see the Santa and the Deck the Halls. You can put more sequins or less. It's up to you. So once we have that, I'm just gonna flip this open and just simply decorate the inside. So this is gonna go in here like that. And then I'm gonna take my little piece and it's gonna go right here, so that way you have somewhere to write your sentiment. So we're just gonna glue that in there. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue that in there. So the inside's almost done. I just wanna grab my sticker sheet and put another cute sticker in there. So I think I'll use Joy to the World. That's pretty. I'm gonna add some extra adhesive first. I'm just gonna place that right here. So there's the cute inside of our card. Here's the outside and our cute shaker. So can you see why I use the really strong adhesive? Because it's holding the shaker card together. So here's the envelope that we made. And I'm just gonna take our beautiful shaker card and stick that right down in there. And you have a gorgeous card, and that does not take any time at all. And this is just so easy to make. Use those 4x6 cut aparts and cut them down. Mat the paper, stick it in there, and just get some sequins. You can go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or any craft store. I got these on Amazon, and I'll link them below if you want these ones. But you could use any sequins. I really love how that turned out. And then here's our other one. So there's both of our beautiful shaker cards. I hope you enjoyed this. I want to thank you so much for sticking with me and watching my Christmas in July series. And I wish I would have mentioned this earlier, but my sweet, talented friend Ginny over at Polly's Paper Studio, she is also doing a Christmas in July. So if you missed her videos, I really recommend going and replaying all of her Christmas in July videos. She is beyond talented, and I always draw so much inspiration from her. So I'm going to link everything below for you guys, and I will see you tomorrow for our first craft fair series video. I hope to see you here. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Bye.